Hello and welcome to today's FIA Formula 3 press conference following the opening race here at Monza. We're joined today by the top three finishers from race 1, your race winner Robert Schwartzman from Prema Racing, in second place Marcus Armstrong from Prema Racing, and in third place Gian Deruvala from Prema Racing. Robert, you promised some attacking manoeuvres coming up through the field yesterday. You certainly delivered. How was your charge through the field?
I mean, it's been really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. All three of us, we did really nice maneuvers overtaking. I was at the beginning behind Marcus, so actually Marcus was more like not cleaning the field, but getting past. So I was trying to stay with Marcus, who was passing as well. And yeah, definitely there was some nice maneuvers, some tricky ones, especially the Lesmo 2 when I made the move on Max. Was quite tight, but everything was fair and nice. And yeah, basically then Marcus was leading and I was second, and we had a good pace, so I knew that we can get a gap. And basically then the safety car came, the first one. So after the safety car restart, my target was just not to do any stupid mistakes in turn 1, just to continue. So he did a good restart and he had a quite gap, so I didn't have any chance to attack, so I just stayed behind. And yeah, after like 2 laps, when the DRS came, he let me pass, like sort of to do some like maneuvers to get a gap, so you can use DRS together. And I got by, and then my target was just not to do any mistakes and continue pushing. And yeah, for like 3-4 laps, I was in front, and then the second safety car came out. I heard that the driver was fine, so that's really important because it looks really big. I mean, the first lap when I passed, I didn't even realize where the car was. It was just debris on the track and nothing else. And only after some time, I realized that the car was actually on the fence. They told me it was quite big, so I'm happy that the driver is okay.
And the first win for you since Paul Ricard as well. A big boost for your title hopes going into the final few rounds of the season. How much of a breakthrough does this feel?
Well, it felt quite long, definitely. We were quite close, like P2, P3. But yeah, something was missing, and now I felt that the car was really good. We had the pace to win, and then basically all three of us were just, doing our job to get the win. But it was everything fair and nice, so that's the thing. I'm really happy that I won today. It was really tight. I mean, I had a lot of pressure from my teammates. It was hard, but yeah, today I'm happy that finally I got the win.
Congratulations. Marcus, moving on to you now. Could you talk us through your race and the battle you had with Robert for the lead?
Yeah, it was an exciting race. The first lap, I don't know where I finished the first lap, maybe third. So that was pretty exciting, and everything sort of went to plan. And then, for whatever reason, Christian wasn't leading the race, so that was a bit of a surprise because obviously he was very quick yesterday. And I don't actually remember how I overtook them. There was so much action in that race, I can't quite remember it. But yeah, the pace was pretty good because we got to the lead and pulled quite a reasonable gap over Verschoor. And then there was the safety car, and Robert was behind me. Yeah, it wasn't easy because I obviously know that Robert switched on, and I sort of had to surprise him a wee bit, which I think I did. And yeah, so I managed to lead again for the first 2 laps after that before the DRS was activated. And yeah, I felt as though I was destroying my tyres a wee bit out front, having to push so hard to try and break Robert. So I decided to let him go and then just follow in his slipstream and use DRS and try and attack on the last few laps. Obviously, we're thankful that Fernandez is okay, but I think how do you say, it sort of stopped everyone from seeing a good last lap battle, let's say.
A very significant result as well for Prema, obviously a home race to get a 1-2-3 finish. I mean, does this kind of result just prove just how good the team has been this season?
Absolutely, especially here at Monza in front of all the team. A lot of people have come over from Grisignano to watch the race this morning, so it was cool to see everyone under the podium. And also to have Guillaume on the podium with us is special. So as I said on the radio, I'm very grateful to be part of such a fantastic team and well organised, and I think us in the first 3 is sort of our way of almost giving back.
Well done today. And Jan, moving on to you now. P3, obviously the safety car at the end did sort of end hopes of a very tight scrap between the three of you. How did you sort of approach your race and how did you feel it went?
Yeah, I think similar to the other guys, my start was really good. And I got into a decent position behind Rob. And my main problem in the race, I didn't have DRS the whole time. So it was very frustrating for me because the car was good and I felt I had the pace to also fight with the guys for the win. So yeah, it was frustrating. I was fighting cars with DRS around me and I didn't have any DRS. So I was using a lot of my tires in the middle sector to keep them, to try to break DRS of the cars behind. And at the end, when they were fighting, I got really close, but on the straights, I just couldn't keep up because I had no DRS while they were DRSing and fighting each other. So that was a bit disappointing for me. But again, to come third, not having DRS at Monza is a really good result.
Well, yeah, because slipstream here is so important and DRS is so powerful. I mean, does this feel like, I guess, damage limitation in a way to still get a podium finish?
I mean, like I said, not really concerning the result. I'm just upset that I didn't have the chance to fight with the guys for the lead. I was just sat there hoping for something to happen. But I would have rather been in the scrap and obviously make it fair, but I would rather be in the scrap for the lead.
Well done today. And Robert, moving back to you now, you started P8 today and fought through to victory. Do you want to do a repeat tomorrow, I imagine?
Sure, but I mean, tomorrow is going to be also a really interesting race. I'm not sure about the weather because before they were saying maybe it will be rainy. But from the free practice, I'm quite confident on the car we have and how everything is going in the rain. So I think in both ways we're going to fight as today and surely just need to collect some more points for the weekend.
Well done. We will now open up this press conference to questions from the floor. If you can please remember to state your name and publication for the transcript.
Jack Benyon from Motorsport. Question for all three drivers. You were all penalised in qualifying. Obviously, you all fell further down the order. There was other drivers who were penalised who actually started further ahead than where they qualified in the session. So can you talk through your interpretation of those penalties and whether you thought they were fair or not?
Right.
Who wants to start? Robert, go on.
I mean, yeah, we got penalties. In my case, I think also in the team case generally, our target was not to sort of like give up. We knew we had really good pace and it's Monza, so there is chance of overtaking. So we didn't panic, we didn't do any mess. We just took our penalties and just had a good plan for the race, which we showed. And yeah, obviously, I mean, it happens. It was a mistake from us. And yeah, now we sort of like learned our lesson for the future. But anyways, I mean, we did a good recovery from the penalties.
Marcus, your thoughts?
Well, to answer the question, I don't think that the penalties were deserved. To be honest, I wasn't exactly fazed by the penalty, the grid drop, because as Robert said, we do have the pace to come through, and this is Monza. As I said in his press conference yesterday, I thought that the guy in P20 could possibly win the race. So, as I said, I wasn't too fazed by the situation. But yeah, at the time it was a little bit of a disappointment to get a penalty for something that that happens quite often, and we'll most likely see it in F1's qualifying session this afternoon.
Jan, anything to add?
Similar to what Marcus says, I don't really agree on the penalty we were given because it's a 10-place penalty for being slow on the side of the track, and people get a 5-place for taking someone out of the race. So yeah, I don't particularly agree on the penalty, but yeah, it was what it was. But we were confident that the car was good enough to fight and come back to the podium, which is exactly what we did. So yeah, our main thought was to just let the stewards decide and just focus on our job today.
Next question.
Jack Benyon from Motorsport again. Jayan and Robert, can you talk through the incident at the Della Roggia chicane? Because Jayan, you were quite angry on the radio at the time, and have you managed to talk through that, or was there any issue there?
Who wants to start with that?
Incident in the chicane, we mean?
I don't think he probably saw me then. I think I came to the outside and he came to the line. And if I didn't go over the curb and straight, I think we would have probably made contact. So yeah, I was pretty annoyed at the time that he didn't leave me space. those things happen.
Well, now I understand what you mean. You mean when we were fighting side by side. At that time, he had space. Just the thing is that I locked up a little bit in turn left, and for sure, in that case, if I saw he would really risk it, I would not do any crazy maneuvers. But I saw that I was still a little bit more in front, so I just tried to take the corner, and maybe it wasn't really something on purpose. I was just trying to defend my position. So yeah, I'm sort of kind of sorry that he needed to cut the corner. But yeah, I mean, he did also a good job in that case because he basically saved the situation. It was quite risky, but yeah, generally to do a maneuver on the outside in that chicane is already taking some risks. So I think he knows about it, and I'm happy that we both ended up continuing the race and not having any contact.
Okay, thank you guys. Good luck in tomorrow's race.